Hey everybody, welcome to Travel Faithfully. This is Pastor Megan at the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey. And this is the site that is near one of the spaces that is called the First Church when Constantinople in mid-300s declared that it was okay to be Christian. Before that, they had to kind of hide in caves and in secret places to have their church spaces, and then they got the official sanction from the powers that be, or the powers that kept trying to destroy them, that it was okay to be Christian. And this is one of the spaces that were created. This is the history of churches when you're traveling over here is that they get destroyed by people who are mad, then they get rebuilt by people who love them, and then they get destroyed by people who are mad, and then rebuilt by people who love them. The mosaic behind me is of Jesus and John the Baptist and Mother Mary, and it's supposed to depict the Judgment Day. They look really, really sad about it because they're not happy about the process that has to take place. And behind me, you can see, back here in the sanctuary, sorry, there's a lot of people, so it's hard. In the sanctuary, there's also these symbols, which are in Arabic because this place was taken over and used as a mosque for a number of years, and then now has come back into joint use between Christians and Islam. And so part of what is interesting about this space is that it didn't establish safety for anyone. It didn't stop the fighting for anyone. It is what we find in a lot of different places, that sacred spaces are claimed by a number of different faith groups, and the differences in translations, though they may be minuscule, the wars and the fighting about them have been really big. So my hope is that we will think here about the ways that we are fighting the faith of others, the ways that we are encouraging the faith of others. And one of my favorite things about biblical scriptures, the way I read them, is that I think they are big enough to tell stories that inspire even those who will probably work a lifetime to convince people that their theology is hooey. And so I believe that God is big enough for that. God is big enough for all of our translations and all of our different wackiness about symbols and our changed ideas about what kind of art is appropriate. And, excuse me, it's snowing out. It's very cold. God is big enough for all of that. The question is, can we be half as big? Can we be big enough to love our neighbor regardless of how they worship, not be judgy, goofy people, but admit that we all get a little snotty sometimes. We all get cold in the winter. We all have ideas about faith that change throughout our lifetime. And let us be people who are gracious to each other, allow other people's faith to change through their lifetime. And honestly, in this day and age, anyone who finds faith anywhere that they find it is so much better than the hopelessness and the loss and the despair that has troubled some people. So be well, be compassionate, and let's end all this religious fighting. Check it off the list. Done. See you next time.